Alright, how's it going, guys? We are back here, and I did a little bit of a live stream today. Internet was acting up, so it didn't end up being any more than a little bit. But while we were actually able to be live, I redid what I had redone, and we have a new reactor down here. It doesn't fit on the screen because it's, well, huge. And I haven't done any real testing of it because I haven't had enough things pulling power to give me a good full test of it. But this is what I'm going with at the moment. I need to get a decent reading on what we output from it. But basically, the idea is same setup for only putting in when we need heat. And then we have a northern and southern bank here that are identical, that have 4 rows of heat exchangers. I do believe it's 14 each direction. And then there's 2 banks going left and right that are 12 to 14, if I remember correctly. This is the first time I've had a decent run of it because I kind of forgot to set these, so every time it's turned on I've only had 2 of them running. I kind of forgot to set the inserters to insert, but as it looks so far, we've got enough turbines, which is the main thing I was worried about. The reason why we're actually up here is because I've done a whole bunch of cleaning up. So we've gotten rid of all of the KI things that were over here. I got rid of the ones that were down here, and they're now all up here. So we have 12 of the 2 main ones that we start with here. And then we have 5, 10 of those, and 4 of these. The efficiency has gotten done to where we don't need the exotics anymore. And I'm working on the 3 right now, which will give us where we need 12 and 3, where we're currently doing 16 and 4. So as soon as that gets done, I'll be able to change this over and make it even better. And then there's finally this one, which is our max beacon support, but we can't do that one yet because we still need to get a lot of beacons done. And we also have this KIX one, which is double the module's effects. I will probably do this one first, where I can have more. This one's going to be quite expensive, and that's going to take a lot to get done. I may have to beef up a lot to get that done. And we still need to get back down here and get the uranium-235 done so we can get into these, because until we get this one done, we can't get into the exotic matter stuff. We've got everything else that is needed up to that point. We just got to get this uranium-235 fusing done. And what we're actually doing today, no, it is not setting this up. This is the Star Engine Fusion Core, which I do have it done, but I don't have all of the heating units and cooling units. We don't have enough fusion tech. It takes a lot of fusion tech to get these done. Each one will take 1,000. And I'm trying to do one of each part. We only need 1 of each of these, but I figured might as well get all of them crafted for us to take a look at. But the problem we have right now is we are not running our thorium anymore. It occasionally kicks on, but not very often. And the reason for that is we have actually managed to run out of thorium. All of that thorium that I had over here stored up, we have actually managed to run out of. And these are running full time and making us thorium, but we just don't have enough of the thorium that it will actually kick that in, because the thorium will not go if we have less than 500 of them. That way we have enough for our reactors to run as well. And somebody's angry, but they'll be fine. I have no idea why all that's in there. I need to get that out of there, but I'll deal with that later. So we actually need to look at setting up another type of fuel so we can burn it. Our 233 here, we don't have any of. Basically, it's running as much as it can, and well, we actually have 27 in there. Maybe I need to reset this setting here, although 27 is not that much. What do I have this set for? So thorium is less than 233, which we have 20 and 5. We have 20 and 7, so it's not going to be, this is not going to be less than that. And then uranium-230, if it's greater than 750, give out a green signal. And if green signal equals 2. Well, we don't have that many of them, so maybe we should go ahead and, yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and set up this one, which is uranium-235 fuel. And let's see if I can find it in here. So uranium-235 fuel is just going to be uranium-235 and uranium-238. That won't be difficult to do. And then we need to figure out what we're going to get from the depleted when it gets centrifuged, and deal with that. So let's come down here to where all our 235 and 238 stuff is. All right, so we've got plenty of 235. We've got plenty of 238. And these aren't even running, so let's get a thing here. I'm going to set it up here. We'll make like 3 of them. That should be fine. And there's really no reason to do... Yeah, there's no reason to do bots for this, so... give me a second. Let me work out how I'm gonna get this up there, and I'll be right back. Alright, so it's kind of ugly, but it works. Pulling off here and then pulling out of there, keeping everything on 2 separate lanes. And then we just need to do this. The only other thing we're gonna need is the aluminum stuff, which for this we will use bots. And we'll just have them bring it down and put it on here. And then we'll just have this pull out. So we need to set this. Hey, get in there. Set to about 100. And that'll work. And we can use one of these here. And then they'll bring them down. They'll use them. They'll make the fuel. And I was looking while I was away looking at this stuff. For 235, we're not really using 235 for much anymore. Our atomic bombs, which that's minimum that we use them. Don't look at the pock marks all over the map, but you know, we're not using it that much. For that, the fuel that we just set up, high energy MOX fuel, which we need plutonium for, which is going to come out of our consumed uranium-235 fuel rods. And we're only going to get one of those for every 6 of these that it runs through. And then our nuclear fuel, which we're barely using anymore because we changed over to the newer trains. We only have a few of the old trains still running. Some of the oil ones are still the old trains because they don't really do anything. They just kind of sit here. Like a lump, the new train down here is the new version, but most of the other 5 are probably all still the old one. And they're using nuclear fuel, but that's negatable there. We are using it to fuel a few things in the oil area, like our boilers here running off of nuclear fuel. I can't remember if there's anything else, but that's like all I can think of. And then that's it. So we can pretty much use as much of this as we need to. And by doing so, it's going to give us more of the next one. So I think we're going to change the way we do the stuff up yonder. So let me get this all set up here. We're going to use this as a buffer chest. And I'm just going to let it fill. As long as we have 235 and 238, let that bad boy fill that buffer chest up. And if I need to set up more of them or put in speed modules or something, I can. We can't put in productivity, so that is good for that. So let's go up here and have a look. And see what we want to do up here. We're definitely going to have to set up a thing here for centrifuging it. But now we can put in a requester here, a buffer there, that like that, and we need this set for the 235. Request from buffer, and we need to finally hook this up. And since we're probably not going to have as much thorium anymore, we can go ahead and take those out. so now that will start running, and this is going to sit there until we give it a place to put it. But that'll start making more of our fuel. We're running low on deuterium. Tritium is fine, but we're running low on deuterium, so we actually need to get that going so we have plenty of deuterium for our reactor up there. I'll have to keep an eye on it. So I think I'm gonna redo this circuitry here. That let me see, how do I want to do this? So first off, I want to check we're going to do this, and we're going to check if thorium, well, basically we're going to do the same thing as this one. This one here. No, that's not it. This one. If thorium is less than 500. Oh, excuse me. So, if thorium is less than 500, you're going to give me a signal, and we'll just call it red. And then if... Isn't that where we're basically storing all of those? Let me see here. Where are we making those? I don't remember where we're making them. Oh, down here. Oh, we've got butt tons of them down here. Okay. Why were we not using them then? If we have so many of them... If it's greater than 750. But didn't I take... I do believe I took... Oops, I can't go through there. I do believe I took them out of over here where we're making our hydrogen. Yeah, this is just running on thorium. So we don't need those at all. Those are all expendable. So basically, this can run... Give me a minute. Let me think about this. Because the one thing I'm not doing is detecting the deuterium and the tritium tank. Technically, what I need to detect is the deuterium tank. If the deuterium tank is empty enough, then all three of these could run. Let me think for a second. Okay, I think I know how I want to do this now. So this one is going to shut off if we're less than 500, which is exactly what we want it to do. So then what we actually want to do here for this one, because I really don't care about that. I know I did when I originally set it up, but now I don't. So basically, if this is below Well, technically, what I want to do is... I don't even need that one. What I need to do is I need to run this one to here. So if this says thorium is greater than 500, it's going to turn it off. And I want to then tell this one that if the thorium... No. Stop all that. All that's wrong. We actually need to do this with a combinator, I think. Because I need multiple conditions. Okay, so let's get this over here where it is not being blocked. Okay, so the first thing we're doing is we're connecting this up here to this tank, because that's our deuterium tank. So the first thing we want to know is if our deuterium is less than 20K. Give me a 1 of something, which I'll set in a minute, because this holds 25K. So I want to know if it is less than that. So give me, and we're just going to do a red signal of 1. So right now we're getting a red signal of 1. So now that is going to tell all of these to turn on. But I also want one that is going to tell me this one. So this is if thorium is less than 500, give me a green signal, and then we're gonna do this to there and to there, and then we're gonna tell them that if they get a red signal that equals to 1, they're supposed to run. For the moment. And then this one, we then need, I think, we need the other one. We need this one. So then we're going to tell this one this and that for its inputs. So this one is going to be giving me a green of 1. This one is going to be giving me a red of 1. Do I need this? I don't think I need this, actually. I don't think I need any of that. I think this is all I need, because both of these two are primarily useless. I don't need them for anything else. This is the only one I need. So as long as this one does not run, if we don't have enough, these run as often as they can, as long as we're low. And these will turn off if that is low. So yeah, this should be perfectly fine. I shouldn't need any more than that. All right. So now this one is running the 233. This one is running the thorium. So now I basically just need to put in another one of these. And we need this one for this, which means I need to get oops. Give me that. So then we need to run this over, which we got this stupid pipe right here in the way, but we can run this to the other side. So we can run that in there like that. And then we need the requester chest here. And this is going to be for the consumed 235s. So as soon as those come in, they'll go in there. And we need to get another one of these that is set like that. And then we're gonna put a storage chest in here, and we actually need one of those, and it's gonna be set for the plutonium. Alright, so now our consumed uranium-235 should come into there. Oh, I made that a buffer. Why is that a buffer for either of those? Those should be... Oh, no, wait a minute. Yeah, that's fine. That's the way it should be. Because this should be requesting from a buffer chest. This one should be requesting from a buffer chest. Alright, so now that will run. And that'll give us our plutonium. So then that means we can now come down here and set up making the MOX fuel. Still doing fine on uranium, so that's good. How are we doing down here? And we're looking good. We might need to change this out for a fast one. We've got plenty sitting there, so there's no reason not to. Alright, and how are we doing on fuel up here? Oh, we're filling that up nicely. Alright, so now, if we get rid of this stupid tree, we shouldn't need more than one of these. So we're going to set this up for the MOX fuel. It needs to grab from here And from there, and then that will make our mocks if we set up a requester chest here and we tell it to give us that. And then we can have that output into a buffer chest if we get rid of this tree. So there we go. We now have that. So now we can run our butts back up here. And we can set this up now to run those as well. So that would be, that's the Mox fuel rod. Wait a minute. That's not the same fuel rod. That's a different one than I just did. Hold on. It's supposed to be, let's see, thorium 233, 235. Oh, it can't run those. Okay. This is a different fuel. Does that actually say max or mox? Let's look. Plutonium. Oh, that's with 238. Not highly energy. Okay, we need to fix that then. So we need the regular, not the high energy. Oops. And we can always throw that into a reactor and that should give us tons of power. Okay, so we need to switch this over to this one. And we ended up with 4 of these, and their fuel value is 28 gigajoules, where these are 10. So that's almost 3 times higher with that plutonium. Okay, so now we can go fix that. Hold on. We're running thorium right now, which is a 6 gigajoule in our reactors. This is 28. We would have to do a whole different reactor design. That would create so much freaking heat. Oh, shut up. Stop eating all the things. Alright, so now we can switch this one back. Not that. We need this. Okay, so now we can just copy this, paste it there, except we need to change this over to that. Which it's not going to have any currently. And then if we do this, that'll tell it it can turn on if and when it has some. Now, this creates 30 fluid. This creates 30 fluid. And this creates 18 fluid. This creates 34. Okay. That was something I was wondering, was if we got more from the better fuels. Otherwise, I was going to use the fuels for reactors and use the thorium for this, but yeah, it does. So now, why is there so many of those packed in there? Shouldn't they be getting them dealt with? Alright, so now we need one of these. We're going to put here. Except we need to change this recipe, that it's now going to be this one, which is just going to give us the 238 out. So we need this one to request the depleted MOX fuel. That's why this is set, because this is set to only 20. We want that set to just bring in as many as frickin' possible. And since we're using a bunch of them, let's put a couple speeds in there so that thing can run a bit faster. Okay, so that'll put that in, and then we're gonna need one of these filter guys right there, like that. We may have to double this back around. That one is running, that one's running, that one's running. Okay, we might have to make a few more of these, because we're kind of filling the belt up here. Okay, so now we just need to get 238 out of here, which we can honestly just do that. We're not going to have very many of them. Set that to 238, and we'll see if that gets used up. Hopefully it will. Otherwise, I'm going to have to stick it out up here to its own. But we've got plenty of things using 238, so hopefully they'll come and pick that up. Alright, so that one's full of fluid. That one's full of fluid. That one's working on it. This one's turned off, so it wouldn't be running anyways. This is the one we got the most of, so running it is perfectly fine. Why does this have any of those in there? Those should be over here. Alright, and how's our deuterium doing now? We're at 5.2. These are all running. They have plenty of fuel to run, fluid to run. And we know that this is going to go up as long as there is fluid. So I think we have fixed our problem. Alright, so now that that's all done, let's go take a look at our... Okay, we've got one of those, we got one of those, we got one of those, and we've got one of those. So we have everything here to set up the star core. So we're going to do that in the next episode. And this is probably going to take a butt ton of power. So we'll see how our reactors do with that. So hope you enjoyed this little cleanup and changeover of our deuterium making stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one when we actually kick this bad boy into gear. Have a good one.